The Indian Wells Tennis Garden, frequently referred to as the unofficial Fifth Grand Slam, is a sanctuary of high prestige, massive attendance, and rigid American protocol. However, on this Thursday, March 5, 2026, the esteemed BNP Paribas Open was plunged into a state of total and utter bewilderment. This chaos erupted just moments before the primary main draw matches were scheduled to commence. Suddenly, the entire main concourse was locked down, and the shock vibrating through Stadium 1 was undeniable, as everyone realized this was no ordinary security check. Reports began surfacing that even elite top 10 players were being held back, while California Governor Gavin Newsom allegedly commanded all tournament operations to a complete standstill. Why was this happening? Because a monumental secret was about to be disclosed, and this crisis was far more complex than a standard political emergency. It was the high-profile arrival of the pride of the Philippines, Alex Eala, a move that absolutely no one in the tennis world anticipated. No superstar athlete, not even legends like Rafael Nadal or titans like Iga Swiatek, has ever been granted a personal state-level welcome of this intensity at this venue. The level of pure adrenaline, panic, and burning curiosity inside the media center is currently off the charts. The entire Women's Tennis Association is demanding to know what makes Alex so unique that the governor of the most powerful state in America would shatter every established rule to meet her. On-site witnesses are painting a picture that looks more like a high-stakes scene from a blockbuster Hollywood action film. A motorcade consisting of 6 armored black SUVs drove directly onto the practice court grounds, representing a massive violation of the tournament's standard entrance rules for athletes. Governor Newsom, a politician famous for his precise and calculated strategies, was seen exiting a vehicle with a look of extreme determination. He ignored the swarming press and the confused spectators, while his entire security detail moved with a sense of aggressive urgency as the phenomenon known as Eala Mania took over. Alex's $75 million endorsement deal with Nike and her massive international following have officially transformed her from a tennis prodigy into a vital global asset. It appears that the state of California is no longer viewing her as a mere athlete, but rather as an official visiting head of state. This unprecedented event in Indian Wells is triggering a massive shift in how the Western world perceives the power of modern tennis superstars. The mystery of this high-profile encounter grew even deeper when the governor reportedly approached Alex while she was in the middle of an intense baseline drill. He did not wait for her to finish her session. Instead, he reportedly ordered all activity on that specific court to stop immediately. For a high-ranking government official to invade a player's private practice space during their preparation is considered a major breach of etiquette in professional tennis circles. Critics are already taking to social media to voice their anger, arguing that this type of political meddling is destroying the traditional culture of the sport. Yet, the cold and hard reality is that Governor Newsom has moved beyond being a simple fan of the game. Whispers are leaking out that the governor is preparing a stunning $5 million gift to cement California's partnership with the Eala brand, likely involving a new training facility or an official state endorsement. The sudden reversal of stance by tournament officials, who initially tried to follow standard rules, demonstrates exactly how influential the Eala era has become. At this moment, the global spotlight is no longer focused on her upcoming match on March 6th, but rather on this stunning display of political influence. As Rafael Nadal observes this situation from the comfort of his private suite, the scene must be quite surreal to behold. It is likely a mix of disappointment to see the focus shift away from pure tennis toward royal-style politics, but also a moment of shock at how quickly his students' reach has expanded. In our next segment, we will delve into the specifics of that secret gift and the details surrounding the $5 million offer the governor reportedly presented to Alex. We will also uncover the private reactions of Aryna Sabalenka and other top 10 players who are reportedly furious about this blatant special treatment. The initial shutdown was merely the opening act. The political war for the soul of Indian Wells has officially been declared. That sudden closure was merely the opening salvo. The true political storm within Indian Wells has officially been unleashed. The explosive aftershocks of Governor Gavin Newsom's arrival at the Indian Wells Tennis Garden are only intensifying on this Thursday, March 5, 2026, As the stadium's daily operations attempted to return to a sense of normalcy following the high-profile VIP lockdown, the underlying motives behind the governor's sudden visit began to leak from the exclusive hospitality suites, leaving the entire Women's Tennis Association in a state of absolute shock. Whispers are spreading rapidly that the governor did not make this trip simply to shake a few hands or capture a trendy photo for social media. High-level insiders claim that during an intensive 15-minute private meeting in the player lounge, Newsom presented Alex with a proposal being described as a staggering $5 million state honor. To be clear, this is far more significant than a simple commemorative trophy. It is reportedly a massive California Philippines Youth Development Fund coupled with a state-of-the-art elite performance center to be named after Alex, situated right here in the Coachella Valley. The cold, hard truth is that California is moving aggressively to claim its stake in the Eala era before any other global entity can do so. However, while the governor was all smiles, the rest of the tour was absolutely livid, and the tension in the locker room reached an explosive boiling point almost instantly. While Alex was being treated like modern-day royalty, several top 10 seeds, including superstars like Aryna Sabalenka and Coco Gauff, were reportedly caught in high-stakes, heated confrontations with tournament officials. They are rightfully furious that their meticulously planned practice schedules were discarded just to clear a path for the governor's high-security motorcade. The underlying catalyst here is pure professional jealousy. As never before in the history of the BNP Paribas Open has a governor disrupted the entire tournament's rhythm for a player ranked number 31. One seasoned veteran of the tour was reportedly heard venting her frustrations to anyone within earshot. She reportedly asked if they were at a professional tennis tournament or an official state visit, as this seismic tension creates a massive rift among the players. The traditional guard of the tennis world feels as though the very soul of the sport is being traded for Eala mania and cheap political optics. But Governor Newsom's influence did not end with that multi-million-dollar gift. As he was departing, he delivered a bold statement during a brief press encounter that has since gone viral. When a persistent reporter questioned whether the blatant special treatment for Alex Eala was inherently unfair to the rest of the field, the governor reportedly stared directly into the camera lens and declared that California recognizes true greatness the moment it appears. He asserted that Alex is far more than a mere player, serving as a profound inspiration to millions of residents, and noted that while protocol is for the ordinary, Alex herself is extraordinary. This definitive mic drop moment has left the established leadership of the Women's Tennis Association completely rattled. It served as a transparent message that the standard rules of engagement in tennis no longer apply when a global powerhouse like Alex Eala is the center of attention. The overwhelming consensus among the media is that the state of California has now officially and publicly picked a side in the Eala revolution. For a mentor like Rafael Nadal, witnessing his star pupil become the eye of a political hurricane is a moment of profound disbelief, as he has always preached the importance of staying humble. But the question remains, how is one supposed to remain humble when the governor of California is halting the world for the sake of your presence? The hidden reality is that Alex's monumental $75 million endorsement deal with Nike was only the beginning of her ascent. This $5 million state honor has effectively transformed her into a diplomatic juggernaut, yet as the drama peaks, the pressure surrounding her March 6 debut has become immense. Should she fail to secure a victory after this unprecedented level of royal hype, the backlash from her critics will be more intense than anything we have seen before. In our third segment, we will dive deep into the details of her new secret security team. Specifically, we will investigate reports that the governor has deployed elite state-level protection to guard Alex for the duration of the tournament. We will also cover the emotional and deeply personal reaction from Alex's parents, who were reportedly overwhelmed by the governor's grand gesture. The initial lockdown was merely the beginning. The Eala kingdom is expanding rapidly, and a hidden resistance is already preparing to retaliate. This mysterious VIP situation at Indian Wells has reached a critical, explosive climax on this Thursday, March 5, 2026. Following Governor Gavin Newsom's aggressive declaration that Alex is extraordinary, the actual physical environment of the tournament has been completely altered. The hidden reality is that the governor did not simply vanish after his high-level meeting concluded. He reportedly left behind a specialized state-level security detail that is entirely unprecedented for any tennis player in the history of this California desert event. Reports are circulating rapidly that 4 plainclothes agents from the governor's personal security team are now shadowing Alex wherever she moves. This startling upgrade in security has effectively converted her standard practice sessions into a restricted fortress. Even the high-ranking officials within the Women's Tennis Association are reportedly livid, as they have lost total control over the restricted player areas. The dawn of the Eala era has officially injected state-level politics into the very core of professional athletics. Yet, while the public was mesmerized by the agents and the $5 million gift, the most poignant moments were unfolding privately behind the scenes. Alex's parents, Mike and Riza Eala, were reportedly spotted in a secluded corridor, appearing completely overwhelmed by the gravity of the situation. They have witnessed Alex secure Grand Slam junior titles and sign massive contracts. But seeing a governor halt a tournament for their daughter was a moment of pure disbelief. Inside sources have leaked that at the moment, the governor officially presented the state honor. Alex's mother was reportedly moved to tears, reflecting on the arduous journey from Quezon City to the Nadal Academy, and eventually to being treated as a royal guest by the United States government. However, alongside this profound sense of pride, there is a fierce and underlying sense of apprehension. Alex's father is reportedly deeply concerned that this extreme level of public hype might place an unreachable target on his daughter's back just hours before her March 6th debut. The tension escalated further when an emergency secret meeting was reportedly convened within the tournament director's private office. Sources indicate that the agents assigned to Alex's detail have demanded unique entrance and exit routes that completely bypass the designated fan zones. This decision has sparked immediate fury among the massive Filipino fan base, the thousands of supporters who traveled across the globe to see their champion. These fans are incredibly upset because the new security protocols may prevent them from obtaining the autographs and photos they traveled so far to get. The great irony is that the governor's attempt to safeguard Alex might unintentionally isolate her from the very community that built her superstardom. This strategic conflict between state-level protection and public fan access has become the primary controversy of the day. Meanwhile, the media center is in a state of absolute chaos and seismic activity. Reporters are openly questioning whether Alex Eala is still primarily a tennis player or if she has been fully co-opted as a political asset. The sudden abandonment of standard media protocols by the Women's Tennis Association is a glaring signal that the sports establishment has lost its grip on the situation. Rafael Nadal is reportedly monitoring the unfolding drama with a very close eye, harboring concerns that the immense mental strain of being a state icon might compromise Alex's trademark focus and the style she learned in Mallorca. These shockwaves are no longer merely about the game of tennis. They represent the total transformation of a young woman into a global powerhouse. We will examine the formal letter that a coalition of top 20 players is reportedly signing to protest Alex's state-sponsored security, as well as the explosive statement her brother just released. The initial stadium shutdown was merely the spark that lit the fuse. What began as a security sweep has escalated into a full-scale, state-level emergency. The atmosphere at Indian Wells has reached a fever pitch on this Thursday, March 5, 2026. As the governor's elite agents maintain their guard around Alex, the rest of the Women's Tennis Association field has officially launched a locker room revolt. Reports are surfacing that a group of 15 players ranked in the top 50 has drafted a formal grievance letter to the Women's Tennis Association board. These athletes are reportedly livid, arguing that the royal treatment Alex is receiving provides her with an unfair psychological and competitive edge. They contend that the constant presence of state agents and the disruption of practice schedules for her motorcade constitute a form of strategic sabotage against her competitors. The tension within the player lounge has reached unprecedented and chaotic levels. One high-seated European player was reportedly heard asking if they were participating in a tennis tournament or an official state visit. This profound division is creating a massive and growing rift within the locker room. The traditionalists of the sport feel that the very integrity of tennis is being sacrificed for Eala mania and political theater. However, just as the locker room protest was gaining steam, an explosive message from the Eala family hit the media with the force of a freight train. Alex's brother, Miko Eala, who has been her steadfast supporter throughout her professional journey, reportedly broke his silence today in a cutting social media post that was removed within minutes but instantly archived by the public. Miko reportedly stated that the other players are only angry because they are witnessing the power of an entire nation rather than just a single athlete. He made it clear that Alex never requested the governor's presence. Instead, he argued that her relentless hard work and excellence made it impossible for the governor to ignore her. This definitive statement from Miko has left the protesting players in a state of absolute disbelief. It served as a blunt reminder that Alex's $75 million status was earned, not given. This is the harsh reality of her immense global influence. The underlying truth is that the Women's Tennis Association establishment is terrified of the Eala revolution because they have lost control over the narrative. The shockwaves intensified today when tournament organizers were forced to call an emergency briefing due to the governor's security protocols. The traditional pre-tournament media hour, which usually offers all access to the press, was reportedly canceled. Journalists are expressing their outrage after being told they cannot approach Alex due to heightened security concerns. This total information blackout is only serving to heighten the mystery and the surrounding hype. For Rafael Nadal, the unfolding situation has become truly beyond belief. While he has always mentored Alex to keep her eyes strictly on the court, his star pupil has now become the epicenter of a diplomatic crisis involving the players, the state of California, and the international media. The panic currently gripping Indian Wells is no longer about who will lift the trophy. It is about who will survive this political hurricane. We are finally prepared to deliver the ultimate verdict and our bold prediction for her highly anticipated opening match. We will also disclose the startling secret that the governor reportedly whispered to Alex just moments before his departure. This political hurricane at Indian Wells is reaching its explosive climax on this Thursday, March 5, 2026. While the locker room protest continues to rage and state-level security remains an impenetrable fortress around Alex, the world has been waiting for the hidden truth regarding what was actually said during that rule-breaking encounter on the court. Insiders standing mere feet from the baseline claim that right before Governor Gavin Newsom left the area, he leaned in for a shocking whisper. He reportedly told Alex that she is not just playing for a trophy, but is the primary reason this entire tournament is remaining in California. The shockwaves resulting from this revelation are absolutely massive and have left the sports world stunned. It exposes the cold reality behind the special treatment, proving that the governor is acting as a strategic politician. He understands that Eala mania has effectively saved Indian Wells from a potential decline in global viewership and relevance. The total economic impact of Alex Eala's presence in California is already being measured in staggering and historic figures. Financial analysts are stunned because in just 48 hours, ticket sales for her March 6 debut have spiked by 400%. The power of her international fan base has brought a seismic and much-needed boost to the entire Coachella Valley economy. This massive financial surge is exactly why the governor was willing to halt all standard operations for her arrival. The $5 million state honor we discussed earlier was never just a simple gift. It was a calculated strategic investment. California has officially aligned its future growth with the success of this $75 million athlete. For Rafael Nadal, witnessing this rapid transition is the ultimate source of professional disbelief. His star student has become a dominant macroeconomic powerhouse before she has even reached her true athletic prime. However, the final judgment of this era will ultimately be decided by what happens on the tennis court. The bold prediction for Friday is that Alex will face a level of intensity from her opponent that the tour has never witnessed before. The locker room revolt has turned her opening match into a definitive statement game for the entire professional field. Her opponent will not just be playing a tennis match, but will be attempting to dismantle a state-sponsored icon. Yet, the hidden advantage in Alex's favor remains her incredible resilience and the mindset she learned from Nadal. She was forged in the competitive fires of Mallorca, and the current media blackout has only served to sharpen her mental focus. She remains undistracted by the security agents or the surrounding political theater. she is cold-blooded and fully prepared. As the stadium gates finally open for the main draw, the Eala revolution is no longer a mere rumor or social media trend. It is an undeniable fact that she has successfully redefined what it means to be a global sports brand in the modern age. Thank you for joining us for this intensive 5-part investigation into the most shocking and historic welcome in tennis history. The Eala Kingdom has officially arrived, and the truth is that Indian Wells will never be the same again.